Good morning, Mets fans, and welcome to the first early morning post-West Coast game edition of Driving with Mr. Met. And it wouldn't be Driving with Mr. Met without yet another disappointing loss. Last night it was Zack Wheeler who, for the second consecutive start, was unable to get out of the second inning. He was completely shelled last night, putting the Mets behind the eight ball from the get-go, and really just pretty much sealing the game in the first inning. That being said, the Mets did put up a fight. They did manage to do something against the greatest pitcher on earth that no one else has ever done. Unfortunately, still counts as a loss. I almost feel stupid thinking about whether the Nationals won or lost because, as we're trailing now by double digits, it almost doesn't even make sense. But hey, I mean, at least the Nats lost last night too. The Nats lost 8-7 to the Marlins. It doesn't matter. The Mets got killed, as I said. But they were able to do something against Clayton Kershaw that no one else has ever done. They hit 4 home runs in one game. Kershaw has never allowed that many home runs. I have to be honest, I did turn off the game last night. I generally don't do that, but I've just so had it watching former Mets players kill the Mets. I just can't take it. It just drives me crazy, especially in the case of Justin Turner. Where the hell did this guy come from? I mean, he was always a nice, solid little bench player for the Mets, and now he's this all-world, nearly 400 hitter. Come on, how does that happen? And does it happen to anybody else? It's like, or is it only a former Met that can be mediocre in New York and then excel anywhere else? It just doesn't make sense. But as I said, I did turn the game off. My buddy Mikey Cohen was texting me with game updates, and when he told me that Montero was in the game, I kind of felt like I needed to tune in, so I turned the game back on, as if the punishment isn't bad enough. Being a glutton for punishment, I felt like I needed to watch Montero pitch. I have to say, it's almost like he was abducted by aliens in Las Vegas and was replaced by someone else, because he's looked pretty good in his last 2 outings. So another silver lining aspect from last night's game. Montero looked pretty good. So there was that. There was also the fact that the Mets offense continues to show life, and I don't care what anybody says. The team was really never felt like watching them. They had given up on the game offensively. From the mound, it's another story altogether. It's just almost impossible to watch this team being unable to pitch itself out of a paper bag. I don't even know if that's an analogy to use, but I just used it. But it's like the offense is trying to keep you in the game. Right? They're trying to score runs. They're fighting back. They're clawing back. They get to within 2 runs. And then what happens? Then the bullpen just starts coughing up the lead right away. It's like, or coughing up and reopening the gap that the offense just closed a little bit. It's maddening, and I can't imagine how hard it must be to sit in that clubhouse on either end. I mean, it's got to be frustrating as an offensive player who, like I said, is doing everything they can to keep the team in games. But it's got to be equally frustrating for these relievers who, I mean, they're just not very good. They're just not very good at all, and they're letting up runs at a ridiculous rate. It was just like, I don't know why I turned the game back on, and I should have just left it off, because I was much happier that way. But I at least got to see Reyes' second home run. So Reyes did have 2 home runs last night. Bruce had a home run, and Gavin Cecchini had a home run as well, which is cool. He hits his first. Not a lot of guys can say that they hit their first major league home run off Clayton Kershaw. So anyway, it's a loss. Yay. Tonight, I'm very nervous to see what happens with Robert Gsellman. He has to have that sinker working tonight. If he doesn't, he is in deep, deep trouble. If he can keep the ball down, perhaps he can keep the Dodgers in the yard. That's all for today. I appreciate your tuning in and watching me be sad about the Mets losing again. If you're not already doing so, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr_Met. And as always, let's go Mets.